And this episode of Penn Point is brought to you by GoToMeeting Online Meetings Made Easy. You know, I just got the new iPhone. This is the iPhone 4, and right there, and that's my daughter. And you can see, I don't know if you can see on this screen, but the screen is a lot better than the last iPhone, and it's all metal and cool. And I know everybody's bitching about the fact that that if you hold it with your hand over this part, you cut down the number of bars you get, you can lose calls. Turns out that I hold my phone, well, mostly I use my headphones. As a matter of fact, you know, Sennheiser should be a sponsor for the show because, man, do I love the Sennheiser headphones. But I use mostly those to talk on here. But even if you don't use headphones, I hold my phone like this when I'm talking. See this? Penn is holding his phone. Can you see that? There's a gap. That's the way Penn. Now, is that some sort of like a feet New England way to hold the phone? Because look, I'm not touching that metal thing there. Can you see? The metal, that's the bad part right there if you touch it. Look, that's natural. I'm not even, now, hello, this is Penn. I'm not even thinking. I'm not even thinking about how I hold it. And that's where I hold it. That's not being touched at all. See that? And it goes against my head, no touching at all. So I don't know what the big problem with that is. I just love the new iPhone, and I love seeing my daughter pop up there. But I wanted to say, and of course they get really cruddy, you know, the fingerprints and stuff. That's a problem with the iPad too, of course. But I wanted to talk about my old phone, which is kind of sad. I have my, you know, my 3S, whatever it's called, the iPhone that I have, which is in perfect shape and works perfectly, and I've now put it out to pasture. And it brings to mind kind of a sadness, but I'll get to that in a second. I got to tell you that this episode of Penn Point is brought to you by GoToMeeting Online Meeting Made Easy. You have to meet with clients and colleagues, but the cost of an average business travel is $1,000. That's why I recommend doing more and traveling less with GoToMeeting. With just a click, host sales presentations, training sessions, product demos, or collaboration sessions right from your desk. You know, I collaborate a lot. I wrote a whole script collaborating on the web, and it's really simple. Right from your desk you can do it. Plus, voice over IP and phone conferencing is included. I have to fly places for business, and you fly there. In Vegas, I'm comfortable. I know where I am. I can go down and see my children. You're better off staying home and doing your meetings with GoToMeeting. It's so easy. You'll have your first meeting running in seconds. Try GoToMeeting free for 30 days for this special offer. You must visit GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and use promo code PENN. That's P-E-N-N, PENN. Use promo code PENN. So I get the new iPhone 4, right? And it's really cool, and I like it. And I do the transfer so that all my everything is over on this one. And I take my old phone and I put it over on my desk, you know. And then it's so pathetic, you know. So the old phone has been cut off, and it doesn't have any contact with the outside world. It's cut off from AT&T. It's kind of like, it's now like an iTouch, right? And it's sitting over on my desk, and then the alarms still go off. When it's time for me to go to work, it still quacks like a duck to tell my children I'm going to work. When it's time for me to get up in the morning, it still does an alarm because the 3S is still doing its job. Even though it's been totally abandoned, it's still doing the alarms and reminding the guy to do his stuff. It's still doing perfectly, you know, what it was built for, and yet it's been abandoned. And it made me think when I was in Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, Greatest Show on Earth, Clown College, they told us stories. One of the stories that broke my heart the most is there used to be a lot of trained pig acts in the circus, and the pig acts, pigs are really easy to train and very, very smart. For a while, I wanted to get a pet pig because pigs will also keep dogs away. They go and root I'm making most of this shit up. I don't really know. If you're a pig expert, you're going to bust me on this. But I'm not a big fan of animals. I don't like pets very much. And I really didn't like being around the elephants at the circus because they're so big and I thought they'd hurt me. And they didn't like me. I had to ride elephants, you know, in my clown makeup and stuff, and they didn't like me. and I didn't like them. I mean, I love elephants conceptually. I love looking at them. I love thinking about them, but I don't want to be on them or touching them, you know. I take my children to the circus. We go backstage. I mean, I could take them to Ringling Brothers Barn and Bailey, greatest show on earth. Almost screwed up there. So the pigs I kind of liked. They didn't scare me that much, and they did cool acts. And they said that after a pig gets too big in the circus, when the pig used to get too big in the circuses, and I can say circus instead of Ringling Brothers and Barn and Bailey, greatest show on earth, because I'm talking about circuses in general. When the pigs would get too big and too fat, they would retire to the farm. So they'd send them to a farm where they would, I suppose, reproduce and then also, I imagine, be slaughtered and eaten. But they would live for a while in the pens being fattened up. And they said the circus, I don't even know if this is true, but it's heartbreaking. The circus would come to town the next year and the band would play the act for the new pigs. And there was one farm that the old clowns talked about, and they would be, you know, the pigs would be on the farm. There was one farm that was close enough to the circus that the pigs could hear the circus music from their act, you know, from the act they've been doing for years before, because they got too big and fat, before they got too big and fat. And then they would hear the circus music, and if you looked up in the pens, the farmers' pens where the pigs were kept, the retired pigs, they would start to do, you know, their little. I'm going to do a little bit of a pig act here, you know, standing up in the. They would run around in time with the music, and still remembered their act. And they told me that story at Clown College, Ringling Brothers Barn and Bailey, the greatest show on earth, Clown College. And it just broke my heart, you know. I just broke my heart. I just thought about, you know, hearing the Penn and Teller music, hearing the bullshit music, you know, while I'm retired out at the farm and kind of going through, you know, good evening, my name is Penn Jillette, my partner Teller. And that's the way I felt when I got my new shiny iPhone 4, and over on my desk was the iPhone 3, still knowing how to do its act, but sitting over there and kind of pathetically quacking. Which really isn't a good end to the story, because pigs oink and ducks quack. It would have been so cool if the setting I had on my iPhone was an oink, and I could end the story by saying, and then it was over there on the desk, oinking like a retired pig. But it was quacking like a retired duck, and I don't have any stories about retired ducks in the circus. But come on, that's a little sad, right? You know, the pigs going through their little act, and me going through my little act. It's all kind of pathetic and sad, isn't it? That's this Penn Point.